And welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm good, but I am so tired, Rob.
Yeah.
This was too early this morning. And if 10 o'clock is early, there's definitely something wrong. So,
yeah, it looks like everybody's tired. I just woke up. You just woke up. My dog's in the background over here, like ready to nap out. So,
I woke up to chase a turtle, but...
Which is a whole other funny thing, I guess. You should always win if you're chasing a turtle.
You would think, but the little sucker got away. It was missing for 2 days, so it pushed its way out of the aquarium, landed on the ground somewhere, and it's been on walkabout for 2 days. And I've been looking for this stupid turtle. Couldn't find it. And I was afraid to tell. My neighbor came over last night. I was afraid to tell her because she has a hard time with the cats. Could you imagine if a turtle walked up to her? These are big turtles. Yeah. They're probably about, she's got to be at least 8 inches across from one end to the other of her turtle shell. She's a big thing. So I'm glad she didn't pop up yesterday, but these turtles, they kind of go through like a time warp or something. Like they're just gone and you cannot find them. And then it could be a couple months and then they show up again. They're the weirdest thing. But I had that experience house sitting, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds like it. Sounds like you've had a good old time this morning.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back to bed.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So this week, we are going to talk why it's so difficult to lose weight. And
yes,
obviously, I think in today's day and age, and mostly in this country, it is. It's just a difficult thing, I think, in general. Probably not at every age, but definitely as you get older, it gets harder.
Mm-hmm.
But so I went online, because I wanted to see like, hey, let's just throw that into the Google search. So it looks like a website called Medical News Today. It has a couple of things that I thought were pretty interesting, mostly out of the bat. Basically, it has that question: why can it be difficult to lose weight? Here's a couple of things that are on there. It says people find it difficult to lose or maintain a moderate weight for various reasons. Some of these include being unable to exercise, experiencing a lack of motivation, having a desk job, consuming high levels of alcohol, having difficult sleeping, experiencing high levels of stress, experiencing menopause, experiencing emotional eating or depression, and having a lack of nutritional knowledge. Those kind of seem pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. And I can see how some people, like having a desk job is very difficult. You find it very easy to just sit around and not get up and not move.
Because I work on my feet all the time, I tend to cramp up when I sit too long. I don't know how people do it where they have a desk job and they don't get up and move.
I have a desk job, although we just got the stand-up desks so we can sit or stand all day, which I think is definitely helping. I also pull merchandise, so I am kind of up and about and doing things through the day. But there are days where, I would sit at my desk for most of the day, and I'll do the same now. Like if I sit for too long, I get kind of like crampy and sore. So yeah, I can see that being part of it. You're just sitting all day. And then again, part of that is you'll snack at your desk. So you're just eating, and generally probably not very good stuff.
Yeah, see, when I'm at work, I don't schedule even a lunch. I just want to work as hard and as fast as I can and then leave. So I don't normally tend to put anything in my mouth. I'm lucky if I could walk past the water cooler and get some water. So I think that's been a plus for me.
Yeah, for me, kind of as well. I try to fast anyway. So for me, I don't eat breakfast anymore. So I skip a meal. but it's still very difficult. And emotional eating or depression, I think, is just a kick in the nuts. It makes
That's
things
me.
easy.
I do that, or I've done that. I don't do that right now, but I've done that. Yeah.
Me too. I'm definitely on both of those. If I feel like I'm a little down, what's better than a little pizza?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
but if you have to eat, if you have to eat a meal, when I think of emotional eating, it's like you've eaten your meal and now you're just eating to eat. Like it's not a necessity thing. And even if it is pizza, that's kind of irrelevant from what I was thinking, because I thought emotional eating was more like all the snacking and binging and
right. I think I'm talking about like the depression side of it, where you're just you're trying to fill a hole with something that makes you feel better. Mm-hmm. So like ice cream, that. You know what
I found, because I've always been overweight and I had to lose weight to get healthy. And what I realized was that the food that I was eating kind of made the depression or made whatever sad emotion worse, because then my body felt crappy. And so now my feeling is matching what I'm feeling, like what's inside of me, So I discovered that type of stuff did not help. It was like the worst thing to do.
Right. It's helping your brain, or you think it is, but it's really not helping anything. It's just a constant cycle. So, let's see what else is on here. Lack of motivation. I think that can also come from many other things, where you might be motivated in the beginning and you don't see any change. So then you have a lack of motivation. That just goes through. Difficult sleeping. That fucks up a lot of things. Lack of sleeping is just a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. Let's see what else is on here. Experiencing menopause. I don't know about that, but I'm going to assume that yes, that's probably has a large impact on your body.
Yeah, I have friends that are talking about not being able to lose weight right now, and they're in menopause. They're like, they were diagnosed as being in menopause, not just saying they were. And they talk about that quite often. I'm like, well, I always had a problem with it, so I haven't noticed anything, but also not in menopause.
But yeah, I can see how when your body starts making these massive changes, and menopause is a massive change. Your
hormones will really screw you up.
Well, and I think that might be a problem in where kids will start eating a lot as children because your body is changing. Obviously, the food today probably isn't the greatest as well.
Probably.
Let's see. Are there barriers to losing weight as people age? 2019 review of older adults. It doesn't say what age, but experiences of weight management found that following barriers to lose weight were apparent. Lack of willpower. Ooh, I can have that one. Issues with health and mobility. That one, you really, those kind of walk hand in hand. Mobility thing is, if you're hurt or you're injured and you can't do anything, then you're kind of screwed. But I think a lot of people will not even try to exercise because they don't have the mobility, but they don't have the mobility because their weight is heavy. So
yeah, I had a friend say the other day that he had been doing something really strenuous at work for days on end, and his body was tired and sore. And he goes, yeah, so I'm going to go to the gym and just fight through it. I said, fight through it. Why don't you not do it? He goes, no, once you're in motion, you got to stay in motion. And that resonated with me. I don't know why I never thought of it that way, but when he said it, it kind of kicked me a little bit in the ass. And I was grateful for that because I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah. I think that you can't go and like butcher yourself, but yes, you do have to continue to not let your muscles, freeze up but you also can't go to the gym and just murder yourself because your body does need rest. That's just a fact.
Right. No,
But yes,
I don't think it was like that. I think he was just like, there's, like no excuses. You still got to get up and do what you got to do and just fight through it. And I thought that was a really cool way of looking at it.
I definitely agree. I think it's something that you have to do. Like when I go to the dog park with my dog, I don't sit at the benches.
Mm-hmm.
So this morning I walked 1.5 miles, just walking around, talking with people and chasing my dog or whatever. So there's something to that.
Mm-hmm.
Retirement. It says retirement can be an issue, like a barrier, because you're not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, you really have to have a plan on what your life is going to look like after you retire. Because if you don't, you're sitting there looking for things to do. And that just puts you in a place where you don't do anything.
Correct. Well, and like my dad retired. He retired at 55. And he had a calendar that he would write things on to do daily. Mm-hmm. So he had a plan, and my dad will be turning 80 in October. So, he was just, matter of fact, they're still, I think, on vacation. They're driving across the country. So, he's still out and about and still, obviously a little slower, but he didn't let that kind of thing get to him.
That's good.
Let's see. Limited guidance from health professionals. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I think that's really up to you. And now
we
that's
have the internet.
Is
there really an excuse?
Yeah. Let's see. Less concern about weight than you were when you were younger. That's probably where you can get in trouble, where you're like, I was great when I was young. Well, things don't do that anymore. Financial issues. I can see how that could probably be a
depressing
barrier. Yeah. Or just like can't afford a gym. And again, not that it's an excuse, but I can see part of it. You can do your own stuff still. Social life, including more opportunities to eat out. That I can see, your social life. If you're out and about, but you're not doing things, like you're just traveling or going out with your friends all the time and you're just eating and drinking and you're not really doing any kind of legwork, like going places or hiking or whatever, I can see how that might catch up with you. Let's see what else we have on here. Losing weight after 30. People have more responsibility. So basically after 30, when you start growing up, it says people have many more responsibilities and work commitments that can prevent you from being physically active. And I would probably say that's true.
Plus kids. Having
here's
like little kids and all their little snacking and all this stuff that they want.
Well, here's part of that I think you're onto something right there. It says they also may rely more on processed foods if they are busy or stressed. So you're right. You're probably throwing things in microwaves, or you're like, oh, I'm just going to pick up McDonald's on the way home because I got things to do. I got to make sure my kid's homework's done. I got to get him in the bath.
Just got him out of practice. It's 8:00. Yeah. Nobody's eating dinner. We got to get homework done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're
been
just
there.
Yeah, me too. And here's the funny thing. Not only have I been there, I did it alone.
Yeah.
So you're really like, I guess if you had a significant other, at least it would be a little easier to go, hey, you take care of this side of the kid and I'll make dinner. But you're still not doing anything because your lifestyle is still your child. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
Let's see. After 40, here's the fun part. Well, aging comes increased so with aging comes increased body fat and sometimes weight. There are additional reasons for people who are female. One reason is menopause transition. It often begins between 45 and 55. So that's
yes.
Says 2021 review notes that over 43% of menopausal women have obesity issues, and reasons are multifactorial. So I can understand it's probably, again, your body's changing. So it looks like between 45 and 55 is when you really need to, as a female, really start thinking about what changes you need to do in life, because your body isn't going to help you. Right. No, it's just the truth. I mean, it says it looks like there's some medications doctors prescribe to manage the hormonal and physical changes of menopause, hormone replacement, and or antidepressants. Well, but those have shown to promote weight gain. So you're kind of, if you get the hormones or you get the antidepressants, you're going to gain weight anyway, because those are an issue. And it says, according to the review, 20% of females gain at least 10 pounds during menopause. I mean, that's kind of substantial. I mean, a lot more than that. I mean, just because with maybe not even having, you have no say in it. Like, they're like, hey, just so you know, menopause is going to change you.
This is happening.
Yeah. So, and then obviously losing weight after 60 is just, you're just less physically active. Right. So, older adults generally have lower calorie needs, but similar nutrient needs to younger adults. So you just need to adjust your eating habits. You might not need as many calories, but you got to make sure you're getting the nutrient input, which totally makes sense. So,
right.
Which it's funny. My boy the other day, he's gotten, he met a girl, so he's gotten gym happy. So he's going to the gym every day. And he got this drink. It's my son doesn't like vegetables. He's just not a vegetable person. So he got this drink that's a greens replacement. So what it has in it, though, is it has tea. So it gives it a taste that might be worth. So I was like, hey, dude, how was it? And he's like, oh, it's absolutely dog shit. I guess. And it's 10 ounces. And I said, so what do you do? He goes, I put exactly 10 ounces of water, put that in, shake it. And he goes, I drink it down as fast as I can. And I was like, okay, are you getting used to it? He's like, not yet. But he goes, I probably will be able to. But it's the only way that he's going to get these nutrients, because he's just doesn't eat greens.
They have them in a capsule form also.
Yeah, but I think this is like a
mega
super
dose.
Duper. Yeah. It's like, and it's got everything in it. So it's got all your vitamins. Wait till he
starts to shit like a goose.
Oh no, he's already told me. and it matches the color.
Oh geez.
So his body is assimilating it exactly the same way.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I mean, I'm glad that he's at least, trying to do
shot. Yeah.
Because he's built like me. He's a big guy. So I told him, I said, look, you're 20, get in shape now. Then you'll be able to keep this going long run.
Yep.
But, so I can understand, obviously, as you get much older, you just need to change the way you eat and eat more nutrient rich than calorie rich. So the last time I tried, and I did it about a year ago, and I got super duper gym crazy and fasting, and I stopped carbs. I lost, I think, the first month. And so in a little over 30 days, I lost 27 pounds.
Wow.
So, but I mean, I was like really being very strict to myself, which I'm going to try to go back to. And my problem is I had a little depression in my life, and then I got a dog, and the dog is a good part, but he became kind of like everything I was doing. So I woke up in the morning and I did all that dog stuff, and I didn't have time to go to the gym. So I quit the gym. So my plan is kind of go back to doing what I was doing, because now I don't have to do all that stuff. He is in a spot where he takes care of himself. But it's as you get older, it becomes harder and harder and harder to get on this lifestyle, because it's not, I think there's too many fads, right? There's too many diets. There's too many this, there's too many that. you have to make a decision to make a change, a real change. And for me, I love sweets. So I have to be able to look, I want to be healthy and I want to lose weight and I want to feel better, because that's also part of the issue. Like, I don't feel good. My knees, the more weight you carry, obviously, the more you have issues with your joints. And I abused myself for 20 years wrestling. And I also played hockey at the same time. So my knees are not at the greatest point.
Right.
But my thing is, how do I get back on that wagon? Because it's so easy to just not do it.
I get you. You have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that seems to be what pushes people to motivate themselves to do something more.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it comes to a spot where the mirror is the killer, right? Mm-hmm. The mirror is what'll always make you push yourself over the fence. Mm-hmm. Either that or depression on the other side, where you're not eating it. You're like, because that's what happened to me at first. I was in kind of a weird place, and I was like, I'm just going to go to the gym and see if I can't get my mind off of what was going on in my life.
Right.
And that's how it started. It was about a year and a half ago, maybe. So I just went every day, and I was like, I'm going to kill the world by running. And I was running a 5K every day. So like 3.5 miles. I would run 3.5 miles every day, or not run. I'd walk them, but very briskly. Like I would have the treadmill thing going at like 4.5 miles an hour. Jeez. So like I was like burning it out. And then the other thing too is, I think mostly for people of our age, you have to continue to lift weights, right? Even if it's small weight, because I've seen so many older people, and this is why like you see a lot of falls, or like they can't take care of themselves because they stop lifting weights, and your muscles just deteriorate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's going to be my biggest thing is, yes, I need to change my lifestyle again. I need to stop, eating shitty. And it's easier than I thought it was in the beginning. Because I like meal prepping. For one, it saves you money. And I don't know if people have ate out every day. It'll kill you. Mm-hmm. But besides the shitty food, the money, I remember, and this was years ago when I was a technician, I would probably spend $8 a day every single day to eat out on the road. So I started trying to make my own, like a bag, like sack lunch, a sandwich.
And
you're
not getting anything for $8 a day right now.
No, at all. Mm-mm. Not even close.
No.
Like you can't even be in the same ballpark. Mm-mm. So now I bought myself, before a friend of mine told me to get a pressure cooker. Greatest invention in the world, just so you know. If you don't have one, they're simply amazing. So I meal prep on Sundays, and I cook chicken and either broccoli or green beans or something as a side. And I have a chicken breast and some vegetables every day for lunch. I can probably eat for about $25 for the week.
Nice.
Yeah. So, not only am I saving money, which is another important thing in today's day and age, I'm trying to eat healthier. Unfortunately, my work has a lot of snacks and shit because we have them around for people who come in and buy stuff from me. But it's definitely something that I think that we can all do. And then I think the thing, like you, if you're not eating for a long period of time, it's what you eat after that matters.
Yeah.
And
I've always been on this weight loss journey, trying to keep my weight down and everything. A lot of what I'm reading now are people that are insulin dependent, or insulin resistant, I should say. Like their body doesn't do what it's supposed to do with the insulin.
Mhm.
And that's, from what I'm understanding lately, is a big deal in weight loss, because there's no way people could lose weight if this isn't working correctly. So that was one thing. And another thing is, nobody ever tells you, outside of your parents when you're young, to eat your freaking vegetables. I go to restaurants where there are no vegetables to even order. Like, what is that? Like, or it's just a salad, and then you get this salad and it looks like it was out of a bag, and there's shavings of carrots and greens and maybe a little cabbage. But like, really, if you're paying for a salad, you should get a salad that has vegetables in it. Not, we're not in a country that encourages healthy eating. And vegetables are so important. And most people that I know, they're like, oh, I don't like vegetables. How do you not like vegetables?
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I think that I'm also just finicky, but I've tried a lot more things over the years. I think once you start doing that, your palate opens as well. So for people who are like, oh, I don't like that, it's like, well, give it a whirl.
Try it a different way.
Yeah.
There were so many. I remember growing up, and the way they made vegetables was so disgusting. Or you'd get canned vegetables. Remember canned vegetables? And everything about a canned vegetable bothers me. And so, like, just try different ways. Look for new recipes. There's so many good things out there.
Yeah, have you ever had baked broccoli?
Yeah,
like
it's really
that.
good.
Like, yeah. And I have an air fryer. For those people who, if you don't own an air fryer, that's another really good way to cook vegetables because it's quick, right? And it gives it more of a crunch or some kind of texture instead of it being kind of like limp and floppy. Because I threw some asparagus. Asparagus in there. Man, super good. When talking about assimilating your body, peeing after asparagus, man, is brutal. Holy shit. But it's really good. It's like things like that. And I love peppers. So when I cook my chicken for the week, I usually get a green pepper and a red pepper, and I cut them up and I throw them on top of my chicken, and then I take those afterwards and I throw them in my Tupperware to take with me. So I'll have some peppers along with my chicken. So I think it's just a matter of finding a way to obviously know your body type and try to find out whatever you can about your body. Because I see this guy, it's always on Instagram or YouTube or something. It's this super good looking shredded dude. And he talks about and it shows him he's like eating cake. And he goes, I eat cake. He goes, I eat whatever I want. He goes, it's knowing your body type. And that's probably very true because not one weight loss works for everybody.
And I remember being in the third grade. This is how long ago I've been struggling with it. My mom decided to take me to the doctor. And at the time it was put them on pills, like give them something to speed up their everything. And that was not a good way to go. Like it made me feel really sick, and it did cause some depression, and it did cause not sleeping, and all those things cause weight gain. So it was like a crazy cycle that was going on. And I wanted to say that because a lot of people right now, from what I'm hearing, are really into diet pills again. Remember when Fen-Phen came around and everybody was Fen-Phenning it up, and they were having problems with their heart and this and that. And
a lot of people
there's
died.
another one going. What's that?
A lot of people died.
Yeah. Well, there's another trend going around that they're taking all these pills and they're going to doctors supposedly, and this is all going on. But then there's the Ozempic pens that everybody's using. They're giving themselves shots with Ozempics. And that causes weight loss. And the doctors are prescribing it hand over fist. And I'm waiting to hear what that one's going to do, because that one, I didn't realize what it was in the very beginning, and the doctor gave it to me. And so I was doing it, and then he's like, "Oh, it's for weight loss." I'm like, "I don't want to take this shit," but it made me dizzy. It made me nauseous all the time. It changed my taste buds. I was like, "What the hell is this stuff for?" I thought it was for, because I'm diabetic and I've been trying to get off of everything. I'm down to one pill. So he said, "Take this and then you should be able to get off of it." I didn't know it was for weight loss. That stuff made me physically ill the whole time I was taking it. And it's supposed to, because it's supposed to stop you from putting food in your mouth. So there's these medications that they're giving. You know, I went to the doctor. I was like, "Yeah, I'm good on this. I'm going to keep doing it my way." And got off of it. But these trends right now are, be lazy. Don't do anything. Don't change any of your habits. I'll just give you this and you should be able to lose weight. Eat some freaking vegetables. Like, get up. I see these big people, and they got edema and they got all this other stuff going on and they can't walk and they're in carts at the store. Get off your cart and walk. Take 10 steps, 15 steps, whatever you could take. But don't give in to being complacent and lazy and not doing anything.
Yeah, you're right. I think you have to find the motivation to at least start something. Walk. You're right. Walk to the mailbox and back. Walk to this place and back. Like, do something to. You have to get your heart going. I mean, that's just a fact, and you have to find the energy to pull yourself up out of whatever it is that you're doing. Here's one that's on the same webpage. That these are what to do if weight loss is difficult. So I think here's a couple of little things that we can you can do. You can reduce your calorie intake, your daily. That makes sense. Here's Tina's favorite. You increase consumption of fruits and vegetables.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, fruits and vegetables is kind of the go-to. I mean, even when we were growing up, it was quite obvious that those are the things that have always worked because they always worked. What's the other one here? Switching to healthy fats. Obviously, getting away from some of those bad ones because, like, avocados have a very healthy fat. They're super high in fat, but our bodies actually use them. Do you like avocados?
I do.
Yeah, I didn't like them for a really long time, and my friend down the street over here was like, I was having a BLT one day, and she's like, "Have you ever had avocado on it?" And I was like, "No, I don't like avocados." And then I had some, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this shit is really good." So, increasing lean protein intake, eating a healthy breakfast if you eat breakfast. And I think, obviously eggs are good, avocado toast. Avoiding late night eating. I think that is one of the bigger ones. I used to be really bad at that. I would eat until I went to sleep. Now, because I do a crazy fast, I stop eating anything at 7 p.m. and I don't eat until noon the next day. So,
nice.
Yeah, I think that late night eating is just not good. And the last one, adopting time restricted eating or intermittent fasting, is what I do. I know we had my friend Tony on the other day. We should probably have him on and do another show. Actually, not the other day, but quite a while ago. He's the fitness guru. He lost a lot of weight. He's shredded, and I think a lot of it just has to do with it's getting on board your program and sticking to it. Those are the biggest things, and I think that's with all of us.
His mind, though, is just so keen and focused on living that lifestyle. I don't know very many people that would be like that.
I don't either. But if I'll have to put a link in the description of the show to go and check his stuff out. He has a lot of good stories from people losing a lot of weight. I just think again, it's getting in the mindset. Mindset should probably be everything. Because a lot of us are like that.
But the mindset should be, this is my new lifestyle forever, not just to lose the weight. It should just be, this is how I need to be forever.
Correct. It's not there's no quick fix. And on the site, it actually says, why is losing weight so hard mentally? There are many reasons why weight loss can affect a person mentally. One reason is they may be expecting too much too quickly. When those results do not happen, it makes them feel discouraged. Symptoms such as fatigue and sleepiness can also make weight loss more difficult. In addition, high stress levels can influence a person's mental and physical health. So obviously, I think it's a balance between a couple of things. Obviously, you cannot get down quickly. I was not a scale watcher. I didn't do that. I weighed myself once a week.
That's good.
And that I'm also a big dude. I probably carry, I have, you know me very well, but people who have never seen me, I have really, really, really big legs, big. I have my calves are 19 inches around. So I know I carry a lot of muscle mass. All my overweightness is all in my tummy, like most guys. So those are the things that I have to work on. But I know that I look for a change in shirt size, or if my pants don't fit the same anymore. I don't really look at the scale, because I think the scale is kind of it'll hurt you long run. Because if you don't see it, you're like, I'm not losing any weight, but 3 weeks later you might have to add a hole to your belt. So you are changing physically. At my work, one of the guys I work with is overweight, and he's kind of depressed on himself. So I told him, I said, look, let's do the Biggest Loser at work. And so on Monday, he's bringing in the body fat index or mass thing where you hold it and it gives your stats. And I told him, I said, look, we'll do it for 3 months. Whoever loses the most percentage. So not, because one of the guys at my work is in pretty good shape, but he's going to do it with us too, just to kind of see what we can do. And I think it'll just be good to push each other. So you'll be less likely to eat shitty at work, right? Because you'll have somebody there going,
start bringing in veggies.
Yes, can't do that. So I think that's the other thing too, is support. You have to have a support group or someone who, let's say you're a couple. And I think that you can't have one person who is dieting and one person who is eating cake. For one, it's horrible for the person who's trying to lose, and you have to have some kind of support. These are the things that I think will help people long run with, a lifestyle change. And look, there's always going to be a cheat day, right? I don't think that you should ever totally say, I can't eat that anymore. I remember years ago, I went to a Weight Watchers with my ex-wife, and the girl said something that really stuck out in my mind. She goes, if you want a Hershey bar, eat the whole thing. Don't not eat it. She goes, just don't eat it every day. She's like, you can't, because all you're going to do is continue to hurt yourself and hurt yourself, where you feel so down because you're like, I can't have any of this. She's like, if you feel like having a piece of chocolate, cut us, Hershey's great, right? I don't know if you've eaten a Hershey bar lately, but it's 20 squares. Go 1 square. It's a little tiny square. See if that will help curve what your body is doing. And obviously you got to eat more protein. I think fish, beans, tofu, that kind of thing, things that are
legumes
better. Yeah, lentils, peas.
Yeah.
Processed foods. That's the killer. And unfortunately, most fast food is processed. So you got,
after you start cooking for yourself though, and you're cooking healthy, when you go to eat crap like McDonald's or Jack in the Box, or not trying to put them down. I'm just saying, if you want to eat food with no nutritional value, go there.
It makes you feel shitty.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't taste good. I can't believe how many things I used to eat. A lot of cereals don't taste good anymore. There's so much sugar, and I'm like, what happened to these? They're not good anymore. But your taste buds change because you're getting better nutrition.
Yeah, you're just, and again, how you flavor something, you're going to find out cooking at home, everything has more flavor as well. Because you can add things to it that aren't horribly bad for you, that give it way more flavor. Let's see, sugar. Okay, so the 3 white deaths, right? That's what they call white rice, white flour, white sugar. All 3 of those really bad for you. So if you want rice, you eat brown rice. You want flour, you eat like wheat bread or wheat flour, and obviously get rid of sugar. It's really bad. Like Coke, horrible. It's horrible for you.
Yes, sodas are the worst.
So drinking black coffee. Here's drinking black coffee is good for you. Well, not horrible for you. It's a diuretic. So that's one good thing about it. And I haven't done it in quite a while, and I need to kind of get back on it. My thing is drinking good coffee, because I can't drink shitty coffee. My friend who had a coffee company had the best coffee. It had taste. It wasn't bitter. I could drink it every morning. So I need to find another really good coffee. But if you drink it black, it'll help you. It helps your metabolism, helps fight off fats and carbs. So
I can't even drink coffee, so I don't know the difference between good or bad or black or like a bunch of stuff in it. I just don't drink it.
I will tell you, I didn't drink it until I tried my friends, and you'll be able to tell the difference between a good coffee and a bad coffee, because it's, at least to me, I don't like the bitterness, and most good coffees that are roasted correctly aren't bitter. It's pretty good. Staying hydrated. That's, I think, one of the biggest things, because you can replace things in your stomach with water, and it's good for you. Avoiding the
Not only that, they say a lot of times that the reason you are hungry is because you are dehydrated. So if you hydrate first.
That's the big thing too. They say to drink 1 glass of water before you eat. Because your stomach already has things in it, and you will eat less. And it's just good for you. Let's see. Avoiding calories in beverages. Like I said before, sodas, fruit juices, energy drinks, they're just not good for you. They're just
right.
Other calorie drinks include our favorite, alcohol. So you have to chill with the alcohol. So if you're a weekend drinker, probably not going to be bad. If you're a daily drinker, probably not good. And I know I have friends who drink beer. Definitely not good for you. They just, let's see. So this is what we were just talking about. Refined carbs. So refined carbs would be white rice, white bread, white flour, candy, many types of cereal, and many kinds of pasta. So, and there's ways around that. Like I said, if you have to eat pasta, there are brown pastas, which I think is
that. I heard that the brown ones still are not good for you.
Any pasta is a high carb. So if you're going to eat, obviously cutting your carb intake, and then if you're going to eat, you should get them brown. So then you're getting at least whole grain instead of processed flour. So yes, any kind of like bread, like just because you're eating wheat bread doesn't mean that it's good for you because of the carb intake. So if you're eating lots of carbs and you're not exercising, they're storing those carbs. Not good.
Right.
But obviously, if you can do it with at least some whole wheat, it's going to be better. Fasting, obviously, I think I know someone, if you can believe this, I know someone who eats one meal a day. She fasts for about 21 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't understand how she does it. But she lost a shit ton of weight. And I mean a shit ton. And now she's so used to it. Like when I went to visit her, she eating 2 meals a day was weird for her. She was just like, oh yeah, I usually don't eat right now. I was like, oh, that's.
How can that be good though? I don't know that that's necessarily good either.
I don't know about the long-term effects of it. But usually, like, I mean, I know people who fast for 16 hours. So, but again, 8 of that should be, if you're doing it, you can do it sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it says fasting for older people can be bad. So, because obviously you need to make sure you're getting your calories and that you're getting the right stuff. Brushing your teeth between meals makes people less likely to snack. I didn't know that one. Kind of makes sense, though.
It totally does. My ex used to say, I'm going to go brush my teeth now, because he used to munch out from the time he ate dinner till he went to sleep. Mm-hmm. And he needed to stop doing that. So he's like, I'm going to go brush my teeth. And I'm like, okay, like, why would you announce that? Mm-hmm. And he goes, because I won't be snacking after that. And I was like, that's kind of brilliant.
It kind of makes sense.
So, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So then I started doing it, and I was like amazed. We were not snacking after that, like at all. It wasn't happening.
I should start doing it because I have a toothbrush at work as well.
Yeah. And then you just feel cleaner.
Yes, that's very true. And it can't hurt because you're getting dental hygiene. So,
right? It can't be bad.
Adding fiber. That I think is also a good thing, without getting utterly gross on our show. You got to empty your colon. So fiber gets the bad stuff out of you. So makes sense.
Yeah. So do vegetables, guys. Vegetables.
True.
Stay on the vegetables.
Yeah, man, you're on that vegetable kick, aren't you?
Because you know what? I struggled my whole life. And when I didn't even work that hard and started eating fruits and vegetables, at my peak of weight, when my depression was it was off the charts crazy, I had gained so much weight that since then I've lost 118 pounds. And it was not excessive working out. It was getting my emotions in order. It was getting my head out of my ass. But I'm telling you, the key to it was just eating fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables, because when you're diabetic and, they tell you to get your sugar down, you can't eat the fruit. But you could juice, you could do all these things with vegetables and make soups and try different like purees. I don't know, for some reason purees were kind of fun because all the vegetables and stuff, you could mix them together until they tasted good, or until you liked whatever you weren't supposed to, or whatever you didn't like, you could put something else with it and then it wasn't bad. So I did all those things. The vegetables saved my life. I got my A1C down from, I think at the time it was an 11. I was in a really bad way. Did not know I was diabetic. And my A1C now is at a 5.4. Wow. And it's been steady at a 5.4 for about 5 years now. And I'm telling you, it was just putting down the crap and eating more fruits and vegetables, and in so many different ways.
Very nice.
It worked.
See, there you go.
And I still could lose more weight. I don't think I'll ever be off the journey, but at least I'm not stuck where I was.
Correct. And I think that's another positive is going, look, you're probably going to be fighting this for the rest of your life, but at least you're in a healthier place where now you can continue to do it and maybe not be in such a hurry, but just gradually keep getting healthier. So I think that's good. Here's one that says that I think is interesting. Eating slowly. Slow down when you eat, which kind of makes sense. Let's see. Using a smaller plate. I've heard that before as well. Don't, if you use smaller plates, you're less likely to
my daughter used to do that, and people used to say, why are you making her eat on a little plate? I'm like, she was serving herself too much food. She came up with that. I let her do her own thing. Far be it from me to tell her what to do. I had a problem with my weight my whole life, so I let her do it, but I got a lot of feedback that was emotionally scarring to her for giving, like, she wasn't allowed to have enough food or whatever. I don't know what that was about, but I took a lot of heat for that. But you know what? It kept her from overeating.
Yep.
It really did.
Sounds like they were wrong.
Bitches.
Yeah. Obviously getting more sleep. Sleep is, now that I've changed how I do things, like I don't stay up really late anymore. I try to get as much sleep as I can. I think that's definitely a plus. Here's one for you. Adding chili. Like there's a
what kind of chili?
Like chili powder. There's a chemical compound in it that helps you out called capsaicin. There's a chemical that is commonly present in spices such as chili powder. So adding a little bit of chili powder, and it adds taste. I think that's a good deal. So look, I think that there's different exercising for different lifestyles. I can't run just because my knees are so shitty. You can walk, you can cycle. Resistance exercise, I think, is very important because, like I said, like lifting weights and getting strong is important. Swimming, I heard as we get older, swimming obviously is a good cardio. Just in its water resistance.
It's also really good for your mental health. It does affect you mentally. Being in water, having water completely around you is a very good thing for your emotional well-being as well.
Yeah, because I know you're a big swimmer.
Yeah, I'll be in the pool today.
Yeah. Right?
I've been waiting for today. It really does. It really does save my mental health being in water. A lot of people take showers or baths. I don't like baths. I don't like to sit in dirty water, but I'll sit in a pool all stinking day. I don't care. But having all of your senses present is really good for your mental health, and water kind of makes that happen.
And for resistance, people, like they usually do it for older people where they can stand in the shallow end and they'll do exercises. It's because water is a very big resistance, and resistance training is big. If you haven't swam for a while and then you go swim, you will remember it the next day. You're like, oh, I haven't swam in a long time, because you're using muscles that you just haven't used in such a long time. So I think that, we're gearing down on this show, but like it's hard to lose weight. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. So I think,
and it's a lifestyle change. It's not I'm going to do this and I'm going to lose this weight and everything's going to be perfect. No.
Yeah, and from what I read, obviously it's several things. It's exercising, it's your diet or your lifestyle change. It's getting your mental state under control, whatever that means for you. I think a lot of it, where obviously depression's the killer of a lot of things. So I think that it's trying to stack all these things together to get to a point where you're feeling healthy, getting outside. That's the other thing. I think 2 years of being locked indoors, thankfully I wasn't, but a lot of people during that COVID bullshit, it stayed inside, didn't get outside, didn't breathe the fresh air. Why we locked people up instead of letting them go to parks and walk around is fucking beyond me. So now is the time.
Right.
I live in a city where there's a million fucking parks here. I have no the parks and churches, they're everywhere. So walk your ass to church and then walk your ass home, or find a park to go to. If you have a pet that needs to be walked, throw them in the car, go to the park, walk around the park, get some fresh air. These are things that you can do. And if you have a buddy, like I don't have a walking buddy. I need to get a walking buddy because I love to be able to walk around the park and just bullshit. Because you get lost in your conversation and then you realize, oh shit, we just walked 5 miles.
Right.
And you're not tired because in your head you're snapping away at whatever you're talking about. And I think those are the things that are important. You have to find a way and a reason to get out to start your exercise and your journey. Like I said, I'm going to start mine again come Monday to try to help my friend at work, and it's going to help me. So I'm
glad you're doing that.
Yeah. The heat is hard for me right now because walking my dog in the heat is difficult because for both of us,
nobody wants to be out in the heat like this.
But I think it's important. So now what I've decided to do is I have a water bottle for him. And I'm going to smart. And I have this little like really light backpack, and I'm talking, it's like super duper paper thin. So I'm going to throw a couple of water bottles for me, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to walk, but I'm not going to walk for a long time. I'm going to keep my physical time to maybe, 40 minutes and then get home. So he gets a walk, I get a walk, and then I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to start lifting because that's another, I find myself getting weaker as I get older, and I don't want that. I want to make sure that I keep my strength level up. So these are the things I think you can do. I mean, you're on your feet all day, and thankfully, hopefully I'm going to be more. I've done it for about almost 2 weeks now. And the first few days of being on my feet, most of the day were horrible. Man, I went home, my feet hurt, my ankles hurt. But I feel better now. We got a couple of those mats, those anti-fatigue mats. I think those are going to help us out. But I would say if you're at a place that gives you breaks, get up, walk around, do what you can.
Also, if you're standing up and it's starting to bother you, move from hip to hip, like kind of sway side to side. It takes the pressure off your feet, your ankles, your knees, and it causes the blood flow to come back. So I find that when I'm starting to feel tense or I need to move a little bit more, I kind of sway with my hips back and forth while I'm cutting hair. It does work. An old hairdresser friend told me that. Thank God she did. And it works because you got to get the blood flowing. That's what starts to hurt.
Got to get that blood flowing.
You got to get the blood flowing. And who doesn't like to move their hips?
That's true. I always got some song going on in my head. So,
oh man, tell me about it.
My last word is, look, you can do it. And as discouraging as some things can be, I kind of agree with you. You have to get up and move. So like you said, if you have to walk from here to there and that's it for the day, the next day, go 12 steps further and then come back.
Do it again. But don't not do it. Just stay going. Like 12 steps, you could take those, go into the damn bathroom. So get up and take them. Do what you need to do to help yourself.
And do your best to maybe not always sit in front of the TV. Find something else to do.
My life is so much better not parking my ass in front of the TV. I do so much more now. Don't even care to watch TV.
Yeah, I get you. Well, anything else then before we say au revoir?
Just good luck and thank you for listening, and can't wait to do this again next week.
Yeah, let's see.
Follow, subscribe.
All that good stuff. What do we have? What have we decided for? I'm trying to find our list of shows. Oh, and just so you know, me and Tina have devised a bonus show that we're going to be doing here shortly. So you'll be getting some bonus shows. It's going to be 20 odd questions with friends. And we're going to have people come on here and we are going to ask, all of us are going to answer the questions, but we're going to ask people who don't know what the questions are. And they're very much out there. There's some pretty wild ones that we've came up with. So that's also in the
works.
The works. Let's see. Yes. What do I have for the next show? Oh, does life go on after death or a relationship? That's going to be next week. Because I think that everyone always says that life goes on, and I think that that's kind of a cop out. So let's discuss next week.
Cop out? You think so?
Yeah, because sometimes life doesn't go on. Sometimes you have to admit that it doesn't go on. But we'll talk about that next week.
All right. Can't wait to hear.
All right. Check us out on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or which should be called X soon. And make sure you go to your podcasting of choice, follow, subscribe, send to your friends. Thanks for listening to this week's show, and thanks for listening in general. I'm Rob.
Yes.
And for my co-host, as always, Tina. Thanks. We'll talk to you later on. Bye.
Bye, guys.